Hello indie game fans, I love my Metroidvania titles, so I'm always excited to share, especially when there's new ones, with some vaporware titles showing signs of life, so I do have to show them off in this video. Let's begin with Reign in the Abyss, a pixel art title that still seems to be relatively early on in development, but the sprites already look great, so I'm keeping an eye out. It meshes together melee combat with a grappling hook mechanic via a crossbow, so I'll be waiting for more details when its Kickstarter launches. Kingdom Shell is another gorgeous pixel art title of interest set in a fairy tale world where our half-demon protagonist is persuaded to help with the invasion of demonic and nightmarish creatures, looking to have great art and action, making this one to watch. A nice looking hand-drawn title is Shyftrs, currently seeking funding on Kickstarter, so I thought I'll help give it a little boost. It has a steampunk setting and is set in a kingdom with parallel worlds where I believe you're able to travel or shift between these, being a clever take on the inverted castle trope in the genre. It does have a fairly standard story setup of having to battle enemies in order to find your parents and to get hope, but we do come to this genre for gameplay and exploration, which is why it's of interest, with the closing seconds of this trailer teasing something bigger as well. I don't know why they made the decision to drop vowels from the name, but if the game looks good, do support the campaign. I guess my preferences are beginning to show since we have yet another pixel art title here, with Rusted Moss being a title of interest, set in some sort of post-apocalypse where rusty, mechanical monstrosities have taken over. The world and look reminds me somewhat of Reign World meets Kunai meets The End Is Nigh, but where our protagonist has an assault rifle and a grappling hook. It does have an excellent moody atmosphere and interesting boss designs, making this another title of interest. I followed the developer of LUCID on Twitter for quite a while now, where it is yet another pixel art title of interest. It takes place in a crystalline world torn apart by a cataclysm, where you play as one of the last remaining sentinels, having to fulfill a solemn promise. The expected elements are all there, with melee and ranged combat, challenging platforming, exploration abilities and boss fights, but if you love pixel art like me, this is not to be missed. Do hop on over to the Steam store page to see more gorgeous pixel art, and I'm sure you understand why I love this, and while you are there, drop it a wishlist as well. I do admire what the developer of B.I.O.T.A is doing with their game visually, since they are intentionally sticking to a very limited 4-color palette and having miniature characters in relation to the size of everything else. Interestingly, it has 8 playable characters which you can swap between, which I believe should form the quote-unquote Metroidvania part of the game with their different abilities. The 8-bit pixel art is amazing as well, so if you love a title that leans more towards an action platformer, keep an eye on this. This next pick might be a controversial one since Heart 4th Alicia has been in development for a very long time, being kickstarted in 2014, so yes, that's 7+ years and counting. However, somehow, development is still going on and is not a scam, with there being updates and playable builds, so I'm still holding out hope that this releases someday. It is a gorgeous pixel art title that does have RPG elements like Symphony of the Night, so if you are not aware of this game, do at least put it on your wishlist as well.
Our world is splintered by myth. It is a shield against the unknown, and those who threaten that shield are banished.
We are the chosen. Unquestioning faith is our salvation.
Some defiant few resist from the shadows, but time has come for a champion to rise up and reunite this shattered world.
Doubt is disease that must be expelled.
A title that I'm really looking forward to is Savior, a beautifully animated pixel art entry which has some interesting gameplay mechanics.
Sam.
Most notably, it incorporates elements of parkour or free running into the game, with your character being able to run, flip, wall jump, backflip off enemies' heads and more, taking dives into water and even backflipping to avoid enemy arrows, with some of the best animations that I have ever seen.
For centuries, our lights have been taken and thrown into the dark. And there, in the depths, together, free from superstition and fear, those lights have grown bright.
According to its Kickstarter campaign, it is supposed to release late 2022, but I think it might need another year, so we'll have to see, but definitely a title to look forward to. One of the main reasons as to why I thought it was time to make this video is Ghost Song, one of those long in development titles like Heart 4th Alicia, to the extent that people thought it was vaporware since it was kickstarted in 2013. So imagine my surprise and delight when it showed up very recently and confirmed that they are partnering with Humble Games, which would give them the funding for the final leg of development. It is a sci-fi title not unlike Metroid, but takes place on a desolate moon where you need to uncover its secrets while fending off alien creatures, with a dash of cosmic horror in the mix as well.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
It looks very good, and from what I remember of earlier information on this game, it's supposed to have quite an interesting weapon variety and customization, so let's see if it makes it out this year.
We could have talked instead.
The pride and joy of this video has to be Moon Scars, a grimdark pixel art entry that I think looks superb with shades of grey, black, white, brown and red only, which has led to a deliciously macabre look and feel. Of course, comparisons will be drawn to Blasphemous, but I do want to throw Unworthy into the mix as well, looking like something that is totally my jam, taking the #1 spot. For more Metroidvania or Souls-like titles, watch these videos and I will see you after the jump.